Hey everybody, this is Overpass Live. My name is Eric and I make apps. This is the weekly live stream, which we are now doing on Mondays. This is the weekly live stream where we talk about whatever we want to talk about. Now, apologies for being a little bit late this morning. I think I accidentally started another live stream and then started this live stream, and then sometimes, sometimes I put it off to the last minute. I should probably start preparing around about an hour earlier, but I don't. So anyway, this week has been, I can't believe it's been like a really quick week for me, but just a lot of just nose to the grindstone, doing a lot of work on different stuff, lots of different meetings and, just your normal stuff, right? It's just been like, I've been coding and, a lot more myself. We hired another guy on the team, so he's been coding some stuff in Blazor using Firebase, which we got the challenges associated with that, and what in terms of technology. Oh, here's something that happened. I have all of my bubble bath apps, the ones that are still remaining on, or my language learning apps, the ones that are still remaining on the App Store. Those are being removed because I haven't updated them for a few years. Right, this is something that happens. For those guys who might be new to the App Store, after a few years, they'll just start, sending you an email saying it no longer conforms to the terms and conditions, and really just means they just think you're not maintaining it anymore. So I have several apps where I just have not been posting that to the App Store. I haven't been updating them regularly, so it's just something I have to do. But anyway, that's about me. So I just wanted to say thanks everybody. Mega Man, welcome. Yeah, hey, how's it going? We've got Manoj Yol. Hey Manoj, how's it going? Aiden Mack is here. Mondays, great. Yeah, who doesn't like Mondays, Aiden? I mean, Mondays are the best, aren't they? I mean, but no, it was just, what was happening is on Fridays. Fridays were like convenient for me like 3 years ago. Like it was kind of like, I made dinner, like I could do that and make dinner and go back, and my situation has changed a lot, but I thought I'll just stick to that time slot. And now I know on Fridays at Steve P. Young was doing his at the same time. CoffeeZilla does theirs at the same time. Lots of other people do theirs on their live streams on Fridays, and I thought there's no reason I set it Fridays. Right? I thought about changing it to other days, here and there, and I thought, well, Mondays are just a nice way to start out the week, right? I always feel so much better after doing the live stream that might as well move it closer to the top of the week. We got App 404. Yo, App 404. Van Helsing. I think that means clapping, right? Sturgeon Lukic. Good evening. Hey, how's it going? And Van Helsing says it's 2 a.m. here in the Philippines. Yeah, my team's in the Philippines, so they they finish around 4 o'clock. But some of them finish at 2 o'clock, some finish at 4 o'clock our time. But let's see. Ada says I like Monday for the stream. Fridays were a bit awkward. Monday's a good start to the week. Yeah, that was it. Because Fridays were also, because my situation has changed a lot in the last few years, where dating's kind of a thing. So to be able to go out and it was just sort of a thing. So moving it back an hour later, so it's an hour later than it was before, moving it to Mondays, and then that way we could just start the week off right. So, and there's even then it was like 5 p.m. on Fridays, and which was fine, but then sometimes I have clients call me at like 4:45. Sometimes they call me after 5 on a Friday, which I was thinking, who does business after 5 o'clock on a Friday, really? But anyway, and then let's see. We got MS Ethio. Hey, how's it going, MS Ethio? Mohammed Awais, how's it going, Mohammed? Ada Max says, have you done any subscription apps? I have not yet. I know it's I'm doing one for a client which has subscriptions in it, but I haven't done any myself. Everything is still non-consumable purchases. So, and I do, a lot of people have been asking about my revenue report for 2020. I have all the data. I have everything ready. I'm going to film that probably tomorrow and put that out there. But you can see, like, I probably should have subscriptions, because when I look at my revenue for 2020 compared to 2019, especially if I compare it to like 2018, 2017, it's on the decline. So, so anyway, it's making like, I think it's making about altogether through all the apps is about 700 pounds a month, which is not like before. It was like 3,000, 4,000. It was like I probably, I may have been able to live off of that, but like lately it's just been really low. So I mean, I do need to look into that kind of stuff. Theo Taylor, Theo, what's up, Theo? Anyone got accepted into Apple Small Business Program? I haven't heard anything about that since filling in the paperwork or doing the form. They haven't come back to me in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know. Has anybody else got that? And Leandro says, hello. Hey, Leandro, how's it going? Muhammad always says, I lost my app keystore. Yeah, that's bad. That's like your app keystore. I've done videos about this in the past. Like you must keep your keystore. I mean, your keystore file, in some ways it's even more important than your code, right? Hopefully you're taking your code and you're checking it into some source code repository, or if you're not, you have like your back. I mean, if it's just you and you don't have like Git or anything, although you should, like, if you just have it like on your hard drive, you need to make sure you have that hard drive backed up. But the keystore file is even more important, because you could rewrite everything and release an update, but that keystore file, you can't reproduce it. I've had to do and I tell this story all the time. I learned this early on where the Indian developers, I say the Indian developer, the development company I was working with, they did this app and they released it. So I let them do all the releases, and now I do the releases myself for the most part, right? Unless I'm lazy, right? Because I need to know how to compile it. I need to make sure everything's checked into Git. I need to make sure I have everything that I need and I understand the compilation process. If it's React Native or Ionic or Xamarin or whatever it happens to be, like, or Flutter, I need to know, what are the steps? I want like release notes. Like I want to know, like, you do git pull, npm install or pod install or whatever, and then you'd go through those different steps. But the keystore file, so anyway, going off on a tangent. So I let the developers do all the releases for me. So they had the keystore files, and when I wanted to release an update to something, and I wanted to release an update to, it was an app called Time Goal. It was like never really did very well at all, and I mean, it basically was a widget. It was an Android widget which counted down to a certain date. It was like not even like, it's not very imaginative or anything like that. So like it could say, a countdown to the birthday on the widget, on the home screen widget. And this was like 2012, 2013 or something like that. And so, but this was one where I thought, this time I'm going to do advertisements. I'm going to have all the backlinks. And I started setting everything up. I had all kinds of stuff pointing to that Play Store page. And then I wanted to do an update, and the developer said, and they gave me an APK, and the package name was different. And I thought, well, yeah, you can't change the package name. Like, why? And then they said they can't release an update because they lost the keystore file. And that was like, I really lost my cool. I mean, I was like, I was really, really upset about it, but ultimately that was, I should have made sure. And that's one of the things I do. I need that keystore file. The keystore file, is more important than the code, unless your app isn't that successful. So Mohammed, that was my question. I was going to ask you, how successful is the app, or is it something that you could reclaim those users somehow? Like, because you can't release an update to point them to somebody else. You can't, you could still perhaps put something on the on your description that says the new app is over here, but like the people who use the app every day aren't ever going to see that. So, but no, I don't know a solution to that. Because I've had that problem in the past. Matt Glover, hey Matt, how's it going? Says, hey Eric, weird question you might be able to help with. Any idea why my app appears a lot lower down in the US versus UK App Store? I've looked at data and get all revenue and downloads in the US. Oh wait, your app appears lower down in the US versus UK, but you looked at the data and you get all the revenue and downloads in US. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, I would imagine you should get more downloads in the US because it's a bigger market, right? UK is a smaller market, but but in terms of the ranking, see this, I'm wondering whether or not, when you set up your, on the App Store, when you set it up and you select English US versus English UK, I always do English US if it's one of my own apps. If it's a client app, I'll do English ENGB, whatever. Right. I don't know if that makes a difference because, but I think it would. I mean, have you done? I mean, we're talking the Apple App Store. Have you tried to do like make sure you fill in both languages and just to see if that has any effect on the keyword rankings? But no, I don't. I wouldn't know why it is. It's just a weird one. Can't understand. No, should we have a look at it though? I mean, maybe we can have. I mean, if you let us know what it is, maybe we could bring it up on App Annie and have a look. Aiden says, I'm trying to work out if an app is suitable for subscription or IAP. IAP seems a better fit, but I'm trying to do subscriptions. You know what? I kind of think of the same thing because a lot of applications where I think it should just be an in-app purchase is like, because I'm thinking it from more like a technical point of view. Like it's you're just making one purchase. Is it like AirSpy was the one I was thinking about doing it with before that got removed, although it's still on iOS, so I still could do it. But and I was thinking, but it's just really just a switch, the Is Pro switch, right? It's like, and in my mind, that's a one purchase thing. And why would somebody want to pay a subscription for that? But then I've also used stuff like when I'm in at the gym, I'm using this countdown timer or like a gym, whatever. It was just a timer application. And every time I'm using it, they try to get me to upgrade to a subscription. And I'm thinking, why would I need to? Like, to me, subscriptions makes sense when it's a server-based thing, right? Like you need to have those ongoing costs and you need to do it. But if it's like just a standalone application, but then I think, is that just me thinking from a technical point of view? Like I'm thinking about, the subscription helps to pay the maintenance costs, right? The ongoing costs of running the application, as opposed to just a one-off thing, right? One of the things that in the past I released an app called Can Text, and it did okay. It did, a lot of people really liked it. I got a lot of good. I mean, it was a critical success, but not a mainstream success, I guess you could say. I got a lot of really good reviews. The people who used it were sending me emails. All it was just a clipboard manager application. And it was very simple, and it was built on Parse. And when it came time to actually move it onto something, and when Parse was free and and actually there, and when I moved it to another, and I was going to move it to another platform, but you have that thing where I don't want to have something where I'm paying server costs for something where the revenue is never going to keep up with it. Like if I have like 20 really dedicated users, now let's say I have 300 really dedicated users who love using it and they have a one-off purchase, and I'm still paying these server costs every month, and it's for whatever reason it's not spreading, people aren't making the purchases, then eventually I'm just going to discontinue it, and I'm going to have those dedicated users just going to be upset with me. So and that's one of those things where, that's what, like, I've never seen anybody who puts anything in their code to say, like, so they could just switch it off saying this service is no longer available. It'll just be like you open it up, it tries to call the API, and it just hangs or it crashes or whatever. But I don't know. So Sal's music room, hey Sal, says, hey Eric, hope you hopping you haven't been too impacted by Brexit. Sorry for the bad word. For the B word. I haven't. At the moment, I haven't yet. Like, this is one of those things, like 2 years ago, when I sold my Mustang, when I got rid of my Mustang, and back when, in 2018, when Brexit was supposed to happen, it was supposed to happen in March, and we had this, and I had somebody working with me, and I had to let him go, which was not, I don't ever want to do that again. And I got rid of my Mustang. It was because everything slowed down, and it wasn't because I was impacted by Brexit, but I wasn't impacted by Brexit. I was impacted by the fear of Brexit, right? It was like a lot of businesses didn't want to do an app. They were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, and of course that got delayed and delayed and delayed, and people eventually started spending money again, and everything just was like, okay, well, it wasn't an issue. This time we've got so much bigger concerns that I haven't even thought anything about it. I'm thinking more about the pandemic. The pandemic trumps Brexit easy, hands down, right? That used to be the big waterfall we were approaching, was Brexit, and now it's like, it's like, dude, the economy is like, what am I worried about? Brexit's going to ruin the economy. The economy is ruined already. So, but I haven't noticed an impact on it personally. Matt says, Theo, I've been accepted to the small business program. How did you get an email, Matt? 'Cause I haven't been accepted. Let's see. Nice. I got the email and celebrated. Oh, when did you guys get that? I checked my spam folder, or maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I've been left out. Erdem, hey Erdem, how's it going? Hey, how do you keep the more up nowadays? It's been a challenging time. Would you have the chance to check out our latest video production template? Oh yeah, how do you keep the more up nowadays? Do you mean check latest video production? Erdem, I did look at your video production model and everything like that, and I think it's good. I think it's awesome. I think it's the way you do it, and so what we're talking about is creating videos and creating YouTube videos and actually having like a system of doing things. And in the past, I've tried to do things where I've hired editors to work with me. I've done like I wanted to have a production type of thing, so we're just cranking out videos all the time. And usually when I start depending on other people to do things, especially in the creative capacity, like a lot of times they'll either let me down, or it's just, I lose the creative control of doing it. So then I haven't done it. And it also is like, you could put a video out and nobody will watch it, or they'll like, lately, I'm just going to share this with you guys. Lately, I've been getting a lot of comments on older videos by like, man, you're boring. I got, you're so boring. Which is like, that's nice. So I got a comment the other day, and it says, oh, I'm tired of you hanging on to Alex's apron strings. You're so boring, right? And I'm like, who's Alex? I don't know. He's like, and I think it must have been recommended on somebody else's video, and it's just like, oh. So sometimes you can get a bit down on doing the videos and that, but I'm a strong advocate of just putting stuff out there, right? It's like, I know at least a dozen people over the years who've asked me about, they want to do their videos too. And then the questions get all technical, like what kind of camera you're using, what kind of editing software you're using, right? And it's like, and there's like, well, I need to hire an editor, or I need to, get someone to do my intro first, or I need to do this. And they're like setting up everything, which is just a mode of it's just a mode of, procrastination, right? There's just, you just have to turn on the camera and then start, because you're going to be really bad at it in the beginning. And it's the same with doing apps, right? When we look at a lot of apps on the live stream, and some of them could be, they don't look very polished. They're kind of new, but at least it's a start. So that's one of the things about doing the production template that I'm a bit worried about. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money doing something which takes the fun out of it. When I was doing the daily videos, when I'd ask people for advice, they'd all say the same thing. You should do Motivation Mondays, Throwback Thursdays, whatever, and they would like have this schedule of stuff you should talk about. And I didn't want to do that. It was boring. Like it became. I didn't want it to be a show. I wanted it to be a conversation, and that's kind of the one of the things that I like. So. Matt Glover, Theo, great news. Now waiting for the extra 15% to roll in. Ooh. Cord Funk, you. What up, Cord Funk? Hello. Muhammad says, I have 70,000 all-time downloads. I have read nowadays we can get a new keystore by applying on a Play console. I sent them a message and waited for a reply. It's been like 6 to 7 days. Oh, can you do that now? I know that they have that thing where you can upload the keystore on there, but I'm still the old school keystore thing. I mean, the nice thing about if you ever had assigned iPhone apps, it's a bit more painful that initial process, but those provisioning profiles expire after a year, and you have to like recreate them and re-download them. Same with the developer certificate. but at least it's all centralized. So like if you lose it, you can still get it. Or if you have a developer and they decide, you know, you get in a fight with them or something and then they go off, at least you could still get back to that. Another round of celebrations. The app is called Cadence Display. All right, let's have a look. Okay, and we're talking about I'm gonna look at it on App Annie. I'm gonna show my screen here in a second. All right, let's see. Cadence Display. And I spelled it wrong. Ooh, is this it? Is this it? Is this it, Matt? I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right one before I end up talking about it too long. Or is this health and fitness free open source? Peak Ridge. Let's go to ASO keywords. Let's see. So we look at the UK rating top for cadence, indoor cycling. Ooh, indoor cycling number 11. Wahoo sensor. Hopefully I'm looking at the right one here. And then let's look at it for United States. Ranking number 10 for cadence, indoor cycling. Ah, yeah, you're right. Indoor cycling, you're ranking. So you're ranking 11th for indoor cycling, which has got to be cool. That's got to be, and then cadence. Oh, don't freeze up! Don't freeze. Okay. Got this spinning. All right, here we go. So, oh, you guys don't see my reminders up here. Okay, so let's have a look at this United States again. I mean, I'm wondering what's ranking for indoor cadence or indoor cycling on here. Indoor, so you're ranking 64 on indoor cycling on the US, but you're ranking number 11 in the UK. It's a good question. Let's see, app summary. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, Matt. Sorry about that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm wondering. There must be something that's taking those top slots. Is that something that's actually? Let me go back. Let's go back again, just one more time. Back to desktop. So if we look at indoor, let's look at indoor cycling and indoor cycle. So yeah, you've just in the last few days, you've just jumped up in the UK on that one. So I'm wondering if it's going to follow suit in the US or. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I mean, I think it's one of those things where you just play around with it, or it seems like one of those, like maybe even just wait to see if it starts to rise as more stuff comes on. So as more stuff. So it's more like as more people start to leave reviews. I'm sorry. So Theo says you're looking at subs from a technical point of view. You look at subs from a technical point of view. Yeah, I am. When I talk about subscriptions, I'm looking at it from a technical point of view as opposed to a marketing point of view. So it's like that. Even though it is just a switch, even if it's just a standalone and there's no server, that doesn't mean it can't try to use subscriptions. And it's something that I've wanted to do. Ravi says, Eric, how many subs did you have when you did your first Overpass live? How well is your YouTube channel growing? Any tips on how to start a YouTube channel? So I started it. It was there were like, I think it was just over 1,000 subscribers. Or no, I think it was just over 10,000. I think, can't remember. But yeah, the live stream was, so I went to, so the channel started to do pretty well. It was starting to grow a lot. I mean, it hasn't been growing faster now because I have not been putting out the content regularly. I'm too much in my own head about, oh, I've already talked about that or whatever. We talked about this last week. Like, I just need to just do it. And I've got like loads of things I want to talk about, but then I start thinking about, it's the comments every day that come out. Dude, you're so boring. And it's like, dude, man. So, so I had a consultant at YouTube. They just had this thing where because the channel was growing, and they said, you get this free consultation. And I met with somebody, and we talked about how the channel could improve. And she says you should be doing live stuff. And to me, live stream was terrifying because you guys might catch me out on something I don't know. Which actually, in retrospect, like at the time I thought, I don't want you guys to see, like, ask me a question I don't know the answer to. What am I going to do? I might freeze. And the reality is that there's lots of stuff I don't know, right? Every week you guys ask me something I don't know the answer to, but it is, it doesn't mean I shouldn't say anything at all. And I enjoy the live streams more. So I have heard that the live streams probably don't help the channel as much. I mean, she said it at the time, but a lot of it is the engagement rate on videos. So like if a video gets like 50% engagement, then it will rank better than if it gets just like a little bit. So we do a live stream for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and some of you guys will be here the whole time, but a lot of times people just check out a little bit of it and then pop in, go back out. So I don't know if that actually helps in terms of the algorithm, but it doesn't matter. Subscribers are not the goal, right? The ads are not the goal. It's just to hang out and chat. So, and I think that's one of the things. When I talk to somebody who wants to start a YouTube channel and they start asking about how much money they're going to make, it's almost like, I make a couple £100 a month from the YouTube channel, and it's not, it's more just like it's good for getting clients. It's good for just being able to have a chat, like to be able to talk to people, right? I tell you what, I've thought about, maybe I'll do a course, maybe I'll do a Udemy course or a Teachable course, or I'll do something like a, whatever kind of course. And I thought, well, I just like to just talk about what's going on in the technology that's out there at the moment. And I hope, if I discover something, then I share it with you guys. And when you guys discover something, you share it with me. So I think everybody, should be putting content out because, first of all, it's fun. It's like not a lot of people could do it, so like it's challenging. But if you start looking at it as a big money maker, then I don't know. I haven't found it that way, but I could be wrong. So Rizwan Ada, hola, long time no see, oh pal. Hey, hola, hey Rizwan. I'm thinking of hiring in India. Any honest tips on that? You know what I would do? And this is something, so this is what I haven't done. Every time I've been working with companies in India, I've been working with companies. So like I hire directly from the Philippines, and I use a website called onlinejobs.ph, which, I've been using it since like 2014, just to get people, like to get full-time people who are like, working directly for me. And in a lot of ways that's better because if I need something, they're there. But you have to deal with blackouts and internet issues and computers that are too slow, or people working from home and that kind of stuff. So if I hire a company, then I don't have to deal with all that kind of stuff. But then I have to deal with the management of that company. So I have thought about this is just hiring directly, but it's, I don't know. A lot of people, in the industry, like when I talk to people about the problems I've had with developers in the past, and I say, oh yeah, you can't use, yeah, developers in India, whatever, and they'll come up with something that's, some reason why they're not as good as developers from other countries. And I'm thinking, a good developer is a good developer, right? And there's so many bad ones out there, and you got to find the right one. And that person could be in India, that person could be in the Philippines, that person could be in the States, that person could be in the UK, right? It's just it has nothing to do with if you can find somebody who will apply themselves and actually do what they're supposed to do. But so my tips on that would be, when you work with a company, like when I work with companies in India, it always starts with a project, and I'll get a quote for a project, and they'll say it will take 6 weeks, and it will take like 12 or something like that. But like I'm not paying based on time and material. I'm paying based on the project itself as a fixed price thing. So like it's just embarrassing with the clients when I have to deal with that kind of stuff. If you're hiring them directly, then you have a lot more control over it. But then you also have the issues with the management increasing prices and stuff like that. The first time I hired developers, the ones that worked on EarSpy, and then they worked on some of the early projects that we did, they were like, I had a team of 7 people, so I was paying a few grand a month on this. But I thought, I'm building this up, so like, and then after 2 or 3 months, they raised the price. They said, well, they're more experienced now, so as they're more experienced, right, we need to start charging you more. And I'm thinking, they're more experienced because I told them to go off and learn this, and this, because you gave me a bunch of inexperienced developers, right? And they go, yeah, but it's going to be whatever. And then I walked away, right? I was like, that's good, I'm not interested, right? And they go, oh, well, we could negotiate. No, I wasn't interested. And I was just like, I'm not playing that game with them, right? But so watch out for that kind of stuff. So say, like, if you do hire people directly, if you hire them through a company, through like your own virtual team, but they're actually part of another company, make sure you lock that down, like that they're not, when the price is going to happen, like it's not, prices aren't going to increase for a year or something like that. Yes, I got the email from the Apple on the 15th. Not sure when Matt Glover got his. Oh. Let's see. Almstrand LLC says, Eric, I started a San Diego-based app company. Oh, God, I wish I had a San Diego-based app company. And just launched a second app, but have no organic traffic. Could you review this app? It's Pet Barrier on iOS or Android. Sarah. Sure, Sarah. Let's have a look. Go to the desktop. We'll look at it on Google Play. I mean, to me, it's just look at Google Play on the desktop is easier than looking at iOS on the desktop. But Pet Barrier. Let's see. Sarah, is it available in the UK? Is it available globally? I just want to make sure, because I can't find it. Let's try it on. Here we go. Amstrad. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's it. I'm just trying to find why I can't find it on. Just going to copy the package name here. Oh, here we go. Okay, I think the biggest. Okay, so the first thing, Sarah, is you can't search for it. So it is available in the UK, but even typing the name in directly. So you release it. Okay, you release it on the 15th of January. How many updates have we got? Thanks everybody for the thumbs up, by the way. I can see it like sometimes it come over in the corner of my eye. Let's see, we've got SDK, the release summary. So current release is January 15th. No organic traffic. Initial release. Okay, so we've only released it the first day. So, or what, 3 days ago, Sarah. So in terms of like nobody finding it, that might not be a bad thing. So we've got turn your old phone into a tablet into a pet barrier. Train your pet using a loud alarm, loud shot collar. Turn your old phone into a tablet into a pet barrier. Train your pet using a loud alarm, not a shot collar. Turn your old phone into a tablet. Okay, so I think Sarah, my big thing is I don't know what a pet barrier is. Teach your pet to avoid areas in your home such as got a spare phone or tablet, uses a phone. So I think if we're looking at something like this, we have to think about what people will actually be looking at. Let's look at the website. So I mean, to me, I mean, it seems like something that's, if we're looking at this from a technical point of view, it kind of makes sense. We got the images. I'm glad you're using annotated screenshots here, but it's not really like you have. It's not really like we have differences between them. They all kind of look the same. Like you could do something with screenshots where you took some, let's say you took some stock images and take some stock images and make more things about animals being where they shouldn't be or something like that, and just go tell a story through the screenshots. I like the icon. I think the icon looks really good, but the pet barrier, it's just like it's thinking. So the biggest issue at the moment is you can't find it on the Play Store. That's, if it hasn't had any organic traffic in 3 days, it's, nobody's found it. So you have to think about who the target audience is, how they're going to find it, and what kind of story you're going to tell. Right now I can see you have 2 screenshots, which is like, you have a lot more room here to put some more stuff on there. Right. And yeah, so if I was going to say, what would I search for? Pet alarm. Cat barrier. Okay. So I mean, there's other things in here, like you could start tracking some of those other keywords on there. But what do the rest of you guys think? That's just my opinion right now, because we don't know a lot about how people are actually finding it. Even if we go to the ASO keyword section, we don't have any. You're not ranking for anything yet. So let's go to the let's have a look at the iOS one. Okay, got in-app purchases, which is good. Sorry, ASO keywords. So you are ranking for a few things here, but it's still early days. You got train your dog, barrier, but like 95, 47, 95, free couch. Why is it my free couch? Yeah, Sarah, I think if we have a look at it like next week as well, because it is just watching those numbers and see how they go. Erdem says, Eric, sorry for the typo, Eric. And yeah, I hope that's helpful. Like, to me, it's like until you start ranking. Let's go back to this one. Like the 3 stages. At first, they have to be able to find it, which means they either have to be searching for it and find it. And right now it's not it's not showing up in search at all, but thinking about what kind of words would they look for to find it, or alternatively take some ads out to the right people. So people with pets in a certain area, etc. So that's step one, is just getting found, just discoverability. And then once they find it and they get to that page, then we have to think about the icon and the screenshots and everything. So even everything I said about the screenshots is kind of irrelevant because we can't test that, right? It's just my opinion at this moment, because you could use you start to see if you have the traffic coming through, but they're hitting that page, but they're not actually doing the downloads. Then we have to do it, and then you have the third stage, which is getting them to actually download it. So looking at what the free tier is and making sure you have something that's actually useful, and because a lot of people just won't spend any money on it. But then thinking about how do you get those free tier people to upgrade and everything. But hopefully that's helpful. I'm not sure. Artem says, sorry about the typo, Eric. I wanted to write, how is your morale? Oh, how's my morale? It's been a challenging 2020. It was a challenging 2020. By the way, what did you think about Customer Discovery Process by Steve Blank? I don't think I watched it. You may have sent it over to me, but I don't know if I watched it. How is my morale? Is good, right? It's like, I mean, what a year. I mean, we've already had a difficult year, but I mean, personally, I mean, it's kind of that, I don't know. You know, have you ever been in that situation where like you're about to blow up, like, and you're just like, you're so stressed out, and you're just like, you're stressed out and you're about to blow up, and then like, whether it is the train is late or it's a family situation, and then somebody else blows up before you, and then you get really, really calm. I kind of feel like that. Like, everything's kind of going down the toilet, and it's just like, well, it's like, what can you do, right? All we could do is look at each other and go, man, could this get any worse? Like, what's the next thing that's going to happen? I mean, we got this stuff with we got all this stuff on the news with Trump, and we got all this stuff with the vaccine, it's not being rolled out fast enough, and we're just, we're all getting caught up in all this. And then we got the stuff with the businesses all slowing down. But all I can control is my own business, my own life, my own stuff. So, my morale is good. My morale is decent, actually, I think. I mean, I have my moments, don't get me wrong. Trying to publish an iOS version of my app. Do I need the latest Mac? No, you shouldn't need the latest Mac, Matthew. Sorry, Matthew. You just need, you'll need Xcode. So, because Apple basically said, yes, I can publish it from my 2013 iMac. Like, I can still do that. So, like, as long as it can upgrade to the latest OS version. So I have an early 2013 MacBook, which still upgrades. So I'm able to make all those changes and everything like that. And we're talking like a, nearly 8-year-old computer. No, an 8-year-old computer. We're talking about an 8-year-old computer, and I can still publish to the App Store with it. Now I've got this new one now, so like, but the other one still works. I mean, I published to it just a few months ago using that one, and I know that it's upgrading to the latest version. So it's slow, but no. What kind of issues are you having with that, Matthew? 8848 app says, Eric, today I have no question. I'm just listening to you. Cool. I can sing you a song if you like. I know all the lyrics to the Love Boat theme. Set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. Okay, thumbs down if you don't like my singing. I'm sorry, I said, yes, it should be there under apps. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, it wasn't even showing up. Chansa Musanda says, hi, guys. Hey, Chansa. Matthew says, Sarah should wait a week before worrying. Yeah, it's still just a few days. So, and then the nice thing about your app, Sarah, is that you have like a target niche, right? You're not just like, if you were going to take out Facebook ads for it, and because you have those good in-app purchase prices, you may be able to actually, make that pay off for you. Because you have that, you could like set up those Facebook ads, even if they cost like you $1 per install or something like that. That would be worth getting them in, especially if they make those purchases. and you can target them exactly because you know who they are. Fizzabo says, hey, hi Eric, I'm a bit late today. How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. Doing, my morale is good. Shujin says, I would call it pet detector. OG pet detect. Ah, pet detector. Thanks, Eric. Really appreciate it about that. Yeah, let's come up with, Sarah, yeah. Thanks, Shujin. Sarah wasn't asking for like a new name, but yeah, let's think of some new names. Let's do it. And then instead of detecting pets, you should detect like something else, right? But no, I think it's, I think to me, like when I look at the app, I can't tell exactly what it does, right? It'd be nice to have some sort of demonstration, like even like maybe a diagram, a video would be ideal. But again, if nobody's finding the page, like it's like that's it. If nobody's finding it, then that's the next hurdle. Like the first one is discoverability. How are people actually going to get to it? And the next one would be like once they get to it, are they downloading it or not? And if not, maybe they don't understand what it is. Cordfunk said, yo, Eric, yo, Cordfunk. Do you see yourself doing contracting for the rest of 2021? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, I wish I could say no, but I've got one of the things, like I said, 2018, I took on some debt. So I'm still paying that off. There's, yeah, and I'm kind of enjoying it. When I took on the contract last year, I took it on in March, right? I took it on the beginning of March, right? When the people talked about this COVID thing could be pretty big, and they're like, yeah, they always say that. They always say that, like And then it was like, 3 weeks later, like after I started the contract, but it's only 3 days a week, so I can still work on Overpass stuff. But I felt like when I took on the contract, I was really disappointed in myself. I thought, this is not what I was planning on doing. This is not like I should be running my company, not coding. And even I said many times on the channel before, like to other people, like, look, sometimes you just have to take on a job. Sometimes you just have to get, that income coming in, and there's no shame in that, right? As long as you keep your eye on the prize and know where you're going. So I could that's easy advice to give, but when it was myself, it did kind of was like, oh, geez, it was like, I guess, take on the contract. But I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying just coding and just, doing that stuff. I still got other client stuff that I got to get on with. And so it's like, Mondays and Fridays I work on other client stuff. And I haven't been doing as much prospecting as I was before. So it's just been, I think, so I kind of think, yeah, I will. I will keep contracting for the rest of 2021, most likely, because like, again, I'm torn about this because sometimes I think maybe I should just like, say, because I could say I can't contract anymore, or cut it down to 1 day a week, and I'm going to go out there and start prospecting and bringing in more clients, more projects, and then it was like I'll get back into the stress of all that again, and I'm enjoying the pace of life at the moment, which is, it's not the go-getter motivational thing that I want to be. Like I woke up this morning at 5:30. I went for an 8.8 mile run this morning, like longer than I normally do, right? And because I felt antsy. I felt like I'm not doing enough. I felt like I'm getting too comfortable, right? Because of all this, so I'm a bit torn about it, to be honest with you. Ashur just says, go to Google and search for the phrase about the problem you are solving, and you see what Google will suggest. Yeah. Oh, that's exactly true. Yeah, you could go through and do there's a website called Ask the Public. Yeah, Shujin, that's a really good tip about that. So no, it's called Answer the Public. I did a video about this before, but it's a really good website. Let me share my screen. Hopefully it still exists. Answer the Public. So when you're looking for content to put out there, what people are actually searching on, if I was going on here and say, so let's talk pet barrier. I mean, and it will do this reverse Google search of kind of like what people are actually searching for. So So there's not much here. What, when, who. Oh, they've changed it. So doi. Okay, that's what's the best pet barrier. You see this here, pet barrier for home, pet barrier for truck, pet barrier for front door, pet barrier for cars. So you can start to see that, but pet barrier is still, it's kind of what it does. It's more the feature than the benefit. The benefit would be, you know, if it was going to talk about, let's do, go back, new search, and I was going to do, like, whatever, escaped pets, you know. Then at that point would be like how to prevent escaped pets, or how would I keep them from messing around with my room or whatever. So this is a pretty good site. When it works, it's still loading. There we go. So yeah, how to find your escaped pet snake. That would be awesome. That's what you do. Called the pet snake barrier. Let's see. What do we got? But yeah, that's really cool. Like Shurjan. Morandir, how's hey, hello, Morandir. Do I need app ads.txt if I'm only showing normal ads, Admob ads on the app? Is it only for custom ad offers or something? Is it affect the revenue, or will I? If it will affect the revenue, I'll try to do it. I don't know, because I updated everything at the same time. My thing was if Admob suggests it, then I'll do it, right? So it's but I think, because I did it early on, it was easy for me to do because I already had a website, and it's easy to set up. Like if you have a website already, it's just you have to go to the Admob, go to that. There's a bit where you can just download it or copy it, and then you just put it on the root domain of your site, right? And then you link back to it. It's really easy. It's really easy to do. So, but I mean, if you can't do it, like you don't have a website, then I don't know specifically. And the main reason we don't know is because we're not allowed to compare notes on how our ads are doing. Because, you know, ads are not like we all have access to the same ads. We all have different access to different ads because the people purchasing the ads are actually paying for the impressions and not for just putting them out there blanket. Matthew Creek says, I cannot download Xcode. Okay, so Matthew, what version of iOS, or sorry, Mac OS are you on? Carol VDW, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? Het, Eric, het to you too. Het. How do you notify your app users when you update your privacy policy? You know, I got ways. How do I notify them when I update my privacy policy? I don't know. I've never updated my privacy policy. It's never been an issue. Like I have a link to the privacy policy. I don't like. It's not. I haven't. I don't. I know. I've clients that, you know, have signing, and they actually keep track of who signed what, but I don't. Right? I think if they don't agree to the privacy policy, then they can't use the application. And that's the way most things are, isn't it? Like when you fill in a form, or when I go to any website that says, do you accept a privacy policy? And I say yes, then that's just like, I don't know if they're keeping track of the fact that Eric said yes at this specific time, or if they're, because of GDPR constraints, they're just not letting you in. So like if they change the privacy policy, I don't think they're going to tell me because I only went on the website one time. So I don't do anything is the answer to that question. I tell you that as if like you're asking me like something I should be doing, and I don't. I just don't do it. Don't tell anyone. Raphael says, click on this. Why am I not? Okay, here we go. Raphael says, hi Eric, how will iOS 14 new policy affect the Admob revenue? I don't know. I was, when GDPR came out and we had to ask people about that, I thought that was just gonna that's just gonna suck, because that's when you had to start asking whether or not they want to personalize ads or non-personalized ads. And you know, as a user, I don't want ads at all, right? It's, you know, I know a lot of people say no, people do like personalized ads, and those people are marketers, right? There's like, they're like up. It's like they're up in their own butts about what people actually like. And the reality is, all things being equal, we prefer not to have ads. But that's fact of life. So when iOS says, do you want this ad to be able to track you everywhere? Then obviously the answer is going to be no. I can't see anybody saying, yeah, sure, go ahead. Like, they, might as well just ban it. So I think it will affect, and we're talking about the that new thing where it's like the you have to ask for permission for the tracking code to whatever the app, the thing they always ask you about, the tracking stuff. So let's see. Mike Rogers says, hey, Mike, how's it going? Love your videos, Eric. Hey, thanks very much. Long time lurker here. Don't be a lurker. None of you should be lurkers. If anybody's a lurker out there, say hello right now. If you've never said anything, just say, sup. Don't say hello, because that's, say like, sup. But anyway, thanks, Mike. Long time lurker here. I know revenue is down with losing your big app on Android, but are you going to do a 2020 app review? Yes. In fact, I have the, I'm tempted to show it to you now, but I'll do a video about it tomorrow. Yes, it is lower than before, and I will do a review of it. So, I mean, yeah, you know what? Everybody doesn't watch the live streams, do they? Nobody's going to watch 58 minutes into the live stream, so let's just show you right now. Here's a sneak preview. Let's find it. I have to bring it up here, though. So I talked about my daily revenue report, which every day Rowena updates this. So here's my, okay, so this is 2020. Okay, here we go. Just a second. Share my screen. So yeah, so basically we took it and put it in a pivot table. What I'll do is another video where I compare it with last year. But yeah, it has taken, so Mike, it has taken a dive where this is like, so up until, but it's up until January. So we got, the total was 889 pounds in January, 829, but it's kind of like the low point was July, and I don't know why that is. Like now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, why did it drop so much? And then it's kind of like started to climb up a little bit, but so a lot of this stuff is just neglect. But when I compare it to the previous year, it's kind of that same curve where it just drops in July. So I'm gonna do a video. Actually, let's do it now. Why wait? Let's see. This is the, if I compare it to 2019. You can see like it's around July where it drops again too. But this is where my big app was actually suspended. So like you can see that big drop there. But I'll do a video on that. That's a little sneak preview just for, because you guys stayed with the live stream for so long. Well, but that's the video I'm planning on making this week. The reason I haven't done it is because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because a lot of people found the channel when I talk about one of my old 2016 videos or something where I'm talking about this is how much money I make, and it wasn't a lot back then. But that's kind of where it is right now. So, but yeah, that's one of those things. Like if you guys think I'm super successful, I'm not. You guys can. So I'll do the video tomorrow. I'll do it this week. If not tomorrow, I'll do it this week, and you guys can see me for the fraud that I am. Chanza says, "Hi Eric. I'm planning on building a simple Android VPN. What things should I consider?" Ooh, a VPN. I've never actually created one. If I was going to create a VPN, I would think about monetization, probably. Like, okay, for the technical side of things, I don't know how they work. Like, I wouldn't know how to consider, like, what kind of things to consider there. But I would think that if it was going to be a free application, you have to think about monetization because you don't necessarily have a GUI that's available all the time to show ads on. And you would have to do something where you have to think about monetization. So if you had a free one, then maybe you have it free for an hour or something, or just think about those kind of things. I think that would be the things that I would consider there. Ajax Nation. So it's been a long time, Eric. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. Thanks, Ajax Nation. I wish I had a profile picture as badass as yours is. Sorry, I use the term badass a lot because I've been watching Cobra Kai like crazy. Oh, Sierra. So which one am I on? About this Mac. So I'm on Big Sur. So Sierra is back a few versions. Can you, I mean, Matthew, can you download an older version of Xcode? I mean, Sierra is a pretty old version. Okay, what kind of Mac are you on? Let's ask that question. Thanks everybody for thumbs up. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Let's say that enough. Cord Funk says, I'm also enjoying having a bit more of the secure revenue stream at the moment. Yeah, I know, me too. It's a nice break from the normal stress of being independent. Yeah, this is it. When I think about a year ago, I was still working in the office. I was living at home. I was like, the stress of, we had a project that was way over budget. And it was like a voice control thing. And the clients, like, and the clients, it was just like, you know, it kept going back. It was so much stress. I can remember I had so much stress in my shoulders and my thing. And that was one of those where I just like, I mean, it wasn't the lowest point in my life, but it was a low point. It was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, that's when you start, like, you might not see it in the videos because I don't make a video. You don't see me if I make a video like, dude, why do I even bother? Like, am I even cut out to do this? Who am I to think I could have done this? But it was like, and then this year I'm just like, you know, it's a lot, that steady revenue stream does make it like, you know, I could be a bit more playful with the projects now. I could be a bit more playful with the stuff that, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's take a bit more time doing that. It's not like do or die on all this kind of stuff. So I like that too. Let's see, AdamX, because you make Android apps from free to paid. I thought I saw that setting. I don't think you can. You didn't used to be able to. They specific. I think originally you could, but then they disabled that because because people were like getting like lots of downloads from the free app. I mean, in the early days, people were getting lots of downloads on the free app, and then they would just start charging for it. So they would get all those reviews, and they did take that away. So they weren't allowed to do it. So if I was going to go into Google, let's go into Play Store. I don't know if they've changed that. I want to imagine they would have. So I'm going to bring up my screen here again. Let's see. Gonna go into one of my old applications. All right. This one is just killing it. This one, you know, I've got one new user acquired. Look at that. Look at that. I know you guys are jealous, so you know, try to keep your jealousy to yourselves. All right. So if I go to the store listings, and oh, it was okay. So it was pricing and distributions, but now it's, where did they move it to? So did they move this someplace else? Store listings, pricing and distribution. God, why they keep moving things around. Store settings. For marketing. There you go. App pricing. So make your, oh, you can make your app free now. Ah. If you change your app free, you won't be able to change it back to paid. Okay. So you can go from paid to free, but you won't be able to go back from back. So I ain't doing that. But yeah, I guess you're right. So yeah. So, yep, you're right, Aiden. I was wrong. I guess that is there. I guess that's if you have a. So I mean, maybe that's so if you have a paid app, you could just like, screw this ain't working. I'll make it free. But they say you can't change it back afterwards. It's me, sup? It's me. Jeff King, sup? Okay, it's me. Carol VDW, gnarly. Dude, old school, I love it. Matthew Creek, I downloaded Xcode and it goes into sleep mode. Then it stops downloading and refuses to restart. Oh. Matthew, are you on a... what kind of... That's really strange. Are you still on... Is it the kind of thing you could take to the Apple Store, or is it like a Hackintosh type of thing, or a secondhand? Your friend Smith. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going, friend? Says another lurker here. What are your thoughts on PWAs these days? I know you had videos on it in the past. Not sure if you made any recent ones on this topic. I haven't made any recent ones on this topic, but I did have a rant on it last week in the live stream. I think PWA seem like the logical next step forward, but nobody's going that way, so I ain't gonna touch it. Right? It seems like, apps are better. I think apps are better, but there's also the, that whole thing where you have certain applications where I don't want to download an app for I don't want to download an app for Domino's. I don't want to download one for Pizza Hut or whatever, but a PWA would work great in that kind of situation. But it's still, users themselves are going to the App Store. So my big thing about this, Smith, excuse me a second. The big thing that I don't like about PWAs is that everybody who talks about them and every big proponent of PWAs is a developer, right? It's like the big proponents of personalized ads are marketers, and I've never heard like a normal person, like a user, say, "Dude, PWAs, there's so much. God, I like them so much better," right? Because for them, I don't know if they really even notice the difference, right? But I do know that I've had when I've tried to convince clients to go the PWA route, it's been like I'm trying to convince them to do something that they don't want to do, right? They're saying, "But you can't just make us an app." I say, "Yeah, you can, but this is a PWA. It'll be cooler." So that's my thing. Like if they take off, perfect. I'll go full on into PWAs. But unless, then it would be that you only make an app if an app makes sense. But at the moment, I've tried. We have done PWAs for clients, but it's always been Ionic, and it's been like we've got the iOS and the Android apps through the different app stores, and then the PWA is just kind of there, right? And most of the time, they never use the PWA. Cord Funk says you should check out a show called Loaded about an app developer team making a game. Really fun. Cool. Is that on Netflix? Oh yeah, I'll check that out. Are you the one who suggested Silicon Valley last year? I've watched like all of those. Matthew Creek says I've tried. Okay. It says something about Xcode being an invalid file. That's really weird. I've downloaded previous versions of Xcode, and they're huge. They're like 10 gigabytes or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure why, Matthew. Ron Deere says, Eric, if I notice too many ad clicks on my app, should I delete the ad unit from Admob for a quick response? Does it stop by deleting the unit? One thing you could, if you notice too many ad clicks, you could limit it on the server. You could limit it through Admob using the delay. So it's like, say you only want to show like one ad per minute or something like that. If you were really that concerned about it. Yeah, we need to talk about the Rodrigo sent me through a link this week about a beta for the new on open ad units, and which sound pretty cool. Let's see. Your friend Smith says, "What Matthew Creek? What version of Xcode are you trying to install, and how many RAMs do you have?" Yeah, it's kind of strange. Like, I was gonna say you should be able to install, but it's not unlike Apple to like not give you a message that has actually to do with the error. So invalid file, and as opposed to you don't have enough RAM doesn't make any sense. But don't put it above them. Don't put it beyond them, rather. Suni says, Eric, you can upload the same version of the Android app again as an update and change it from the paid to free. I did that for my Android game on the Amazon App Store. Okay. So you can upload the same version of the Android app again as an update and change it from paid to free. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Anit. Just bought the Mac. Nearly all memory is free. I downloaded Xcode 6, 10, 12, and more. Each one failed. Did you go through the App Store? Sorry, the Mac App Store? I mean, if it's a new Mac, I mean, because that's the one that would be recommended to do. I don't know which one to download. I mean, do you have, if you search for it on the Mac App Store, is it there? Mike says, cheers, Eric. You certainly inspire me to try app development again. I'm sure if you weren't so busy / successful in your client work, you'd have to create another hit with Overpass. Yeah, I'd like to think that too, but yeah, I don't know if that's actually the case. But yeah, that is something I need to do. It's like, yeah, it's up there with, you know, one of these days I'm going to get abs. It's like I need to start working on my own apps again. It's like, you know, I help a lot of people do them for themselves, but yes, I need to do that. But thanks, Mike. I totally have the Domino's app on my phone. I do. Like after the first lockdown, and then some of the pubs started to open. I had like 3 different pubs like apps on my phone, and you know, because it was like that was like a good incentive. Like lots of them were saying, well, you have to order through the app now. So that was, you know, that was kind of cool. It's like a, you know, good for the ecosystem probably. But yeah, I don't want to have too many like different stuff on there. And I have the McDonald's app on my phone. Like I'd never done that before. I thought, I'm not gonna get the McDonald's app, you know, even though like if anybody hit the McDonald's app, it would probably be me. Yeah, so, but yeah, I do it. IBYM Gaming says, can you make me an app? Poof, you're an app. Yeah, it's probably, we're really busy at the moment. Like, you know, probably could, but like it's just so busy like with stuff at the moment. So it really depends. But yeah, it's, you know, send us an email. But yeah, I'm not saying we would. I just, you know, it depends on what it is and you know, that kind of stuff. But I'm sure IBIM Gaming, if you know, just by putting it out here on the channel, I'm sure there's loads of people out there who do have that kind of bandwidth and would like to help out if you'd like to talk to them. Let's see. Also, if someone straightens the monitor, it crashes. What? Someone straightens the monitor. Matthew, are you sure you have a Mac? Fistova says, sounds like pizza time. Yeah, nearly. 12 is on the App Store. Okay. And the computer is 2 over 12. Okay. I'm surprised it's not downgrading it through the App Store. Ron Deere says, Eric, thanks for answering, and thanks for the work. Thank you for the live stream. We wait for your next app hit. 34,000 subs. We'll download it on the first day. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, that would give me an unfair advantage. Like, that was one thing I never wanted to, like, yeah, I don't want to, like, I want to, well, maybe I would. It's like, dude, you guys got to download this new app. It's got, like, you know, whatever. How do you keep a Mac from sleep mode? I don't know. There's probably a setting. I mean, if you go to system preferences and then you go down, there's like displays and there's ways to set the delay of the sleep and stuff like that. But I think I may have done it before, but I mean, it's up there. It should be fairly easy. Let's see. Mubarak Idris says, hi, Eric from Nigeria. Hey, how's it going, Mubarak? I love your videos. Thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. So, Eric, want to ask you if you noticed a dropout in eCPM and Admob this last year because my ads revenue are dramatically goes really low and I can barely make $1. I have noticed it get lower. I mean, I've noticed it drop, you know, in the middle of the year and then it picks up again at the end of the year. But yeah, I used to follow it every day, like 5 years ago. If you asked me any day what my RPM was, I could tell you exactly. And now I'm like I look at the daily revenue report. I don't even look at it on a daily basis anymore. I've just gotten, but yes, I do notice that it has dropped But again, it's going to be different for different people, which is why they don't let us share it. Like I'm sure the big apps, like with lots of traffic, I'm sure they haven't had that much of a hit on it. Let's see. How do you keep a Mac from sleep mode? It sounds like a setup for a joke. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does. How do you keep a Mac from sleep mode? Lots of coffee, I guess. I don't know. But looks like we reached the end of the live stream. Everybody, thanks so much for everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. We're going to do this again next Monday. So we'll do it again next Monday night. If anybody wants to show up, we hang out, we'll sing songs. We'll practice a new handshake. We'll just, we'll keep this club going. And I really appreciate everybody who hasn't ever commented before for saying sup tonight. That was really nice. And I really appreciate it. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic week ahead. I'll talk to you guys next week. And stay healthy, stay safe. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.